If you go back almost 8 years ago, I made some videos which revolutionised the internet. Not those ones, that's a whole other story. I'm talking about these ones, the world's cheapest flight. Something that I took and bigger creators stole it. You can literally see me in his video. The video didn't grow the way I wanted it to, though I did only have 23 subscribers at the time. So seeing bigger creators take my content was actually pretty refreshing.
Look how swollen my face is.
A question you may have is, how did I end up booking the world's cheapest flight? Well, it's pretty simple actually. I was a lonely young adult watching YouTube videos of other people travelling, and I came across this guy called Matt. His videos were pretty cool. He travelled the world and he just seemed to have this great life. I decided to reach out to him over Instagram, and I told him that I wanted to go travelling, and his response was pretty simple: book the next cheapest flight I could find. So I headed onto the website called Skyscanner, and I found a flight. It wasn't at an airport anywhere near me, and it only cost £5, and it left the next morning.
Am I growing a beard or something? I can't grow a beard.
The journey started imminently. I went and withdrew around €110 for this adventure. I said goodbye to my place and I headed to the train station. I took a train from West Sussex all the way up to London, where I then got on a tube and headed over to Stansted Airport. You see, this journey wasn't planned whatsoever. I didn't have accommodation booked, I had nothing planned. The only thing that was planned was spending the night at Stansted Airport. After spending the night messing about with some fellow travellers in my penny board, it was around 5 in the morning when I put on some comfier clothes and headed to my gate. The plane was half empty, and I was a little nervous. This was the third flight I'd ever taken by myself, and to a country that I'd only been to a couple of times in my life.
I need to know where I'm going. Haven't actually booked anything. Don't know if I'm going to Nice, Cannes, Monaco. Don't know how much it's going to cost. Just trying to work all this stuff out now.
It's safe to say that I had a pretty smooth flight, as if I didn't, I probably wouldn't be here right now telling you about this adventure. I flew to France. I hadn't been to France in many a years, and this was my first time alone in Nice. So what did I have planned for France? I had absolutely no idea. I had no plans whatsoever, so the first thing I did was I took a bus, I went into Nice, and I found myself a hostel. This was the first hostel that I'd ever stayed at in my life, and it's safe to say that it was absolutely lovely. France has a lot to offer. The beaches are stunning, the architecture is to die for. It's just an absolutely lovely place. I experienced a little bit of culture whilst I was there, as well as a little bit of travelling. I went down to Cannes, and I even visited the country of Monaco in a suit. As well as that, I spent a lot of time on my penny board. But unfortunately, my time in France had to end. I chose to end it quickly. I was only there for 3 days at this point, and I chose to hitchhike out of France and head off to Spain. You see, this was my first time actually travelling. This was my first experience really, and every single second of it was amazing. I headed down to Barcelona in the end, and I spent 5 days there. I wish I spent more time in France, to be honest. I absolutely loved this whole trip. The trip was amazing, and it started with a £5 flight. Earlier in the video, I said I took €110 with me. I didn't even spend that. I had money to come home with. I made the trip as cheap as I possibly could. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed absolutely every second of it, seeing all these different places and cultures, and it was amazing. And then there's Matt, the man who told me to book the cheap flights. You may wonder what happened to him in the end. Well, I bumped into him in France. We met for the first time, and to this day, he is now one of my closest friends. So to anyone who's looking to travel and is coming up with every excuse for it, book that flight. It doesn't matter when it leaves, it doesn't matter where it's going from or where to. Book that flight. Take that leap, take the adventure, and travel. I've done it for £5. In fact, I did it for £3 to Ireland once. I've flown everywhere. I've been to over 22 countries now, and I've loved every second of it. So to anyone watching this video, if you're looking to travel or you're looking for cheap flights, do it. Check out Skyscanner. This isn't promoted, this is just a great website that I found years ago. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing my experiences of travelling. If you'd like to see more things like this, please let me know in the comments below because I'd really like to know. Have a lovely evening.